Hey everybody! So today I'm going to do a full face look for you guys. I've been noticing a lot of videos on these 5-minute mom looks. And to tell you the truth, I can brush my teeth, put my lotion on, and that's about my 5 minutes. So this is definitely not a 5-minute look. However, this is a quick look just to get you out the door. This is what I do on the days when I want something, I want to feel pretty, I want to feel put together, but I don't necessarily need to look, I wouldn't say not my best, but I don't need to look perfect. I don't have to do, it doesn't have to be major eye makeup, major lips, just, something pretty, like an everyday look that I am in a rush and I need to get out the door. So I do notice that a lot of the videos, they don't show skincare. They just say, I'm already primed, prepped, whatever. But I am going to include that because honestly, when I get ready in the morning, it's part of my routine. So the first thing that I do is I wash my face, or I tone my face actually, to get off whatever is left from the night before. And usually I will just take my Thayers Witch Hazel and I put it in a little spray bottle just like this, and I use a cotton round and I just spray a little bit on the round, and then I just kind of swipe that over my face to make sure that everything from the night before has been removed. The other thing that I like to do is also kind of spray my face with it. So I'll wipe it just to make sure any residue is removed, and then I'll spray my face a little bit. Just a light mist. I like to do that so that my face is a little bit damp, so any products I put on go on a little bit easier. The first thing I start with is my Senegence Anti-Wrinkle Cream. I just take a tiny little bit. This is a new product that I'm trying it out, and I put it anywhere that I have wrinkles, which is my eyes, my forehead, and I tend to smooth it onto my laugh lines. So I kind of let that set for a second, and then I like to use the Daytime Moisturizer in Oily to Acne. I do break out a little bit, and I find that I really like this particular brand, and I do one pump, or this particular, so not the normal, not dry, and I'm not oily. My skin is normal to combination, but this has 1% salicylic acid in it. And I just find that it helps to keep my face clear, and it doesn't give a very shiny look, which I like too. So I just kind of rub that into my fingers and rub that all over my face. And down my neck. Making sure that that's rubbed in very well. I do not put this under my eyes or onto my eyes because of the salicylic acid. I don't feel that that's necessary. Now I do also use the Senegence Eye Creme, and I love this. This is one of my holy grail products. I use a very tiny bit on a spatula, and usually I'll just scoop out a very little bit, put it onto my ring finger like so. And then I take a tiny bit of our Pearlizer, which I love. And I will do this on days that I'm not doing a major eye look, or sometimes I am doing a major eye look. But I like to just kind of take them like this, very tiny amounts, and just warm up the product and mix it together on my fingertips. And then just pat that in the eye area. And that just works to kind of brighten the area and moisturize. love our eye cream. It's actually one of my favorites. Like I said, it's a holy grail product. It's something I will probably never be without again. I feel like it's made such a difference on my eyes and just, you know, the way they look, the fine lines and everything. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, after I do that, I will take some of our Silk. It's a pore and wrinkle minimizer with the Seneplex complex in it. I take a very small amount. I just rub it between my fingers, and I put that anywhere my pores are very visible, which for me is mostly my T-zone, but I will smooth it out onto my cheeks as well. This also helps to mattify in the T-zone. I like to use it as my eye primer as well. And our eye cream is a very emollient eye cream, so if I use it before I apply makeup, I find sometimes my makeup slides around a little bit, so the Silk kind of helps with that. So I will put it anywhere that I have wrinkles and also on my eyelids. And I will let that set in for a few seconds. Now, the other product that I love to use on a daily basis if I'm just kind of, you know, staying at home, if I'm not running out anywhere, or if I'm just running to the store and I don't have anything fancy to do, is our color correcting tinted moisturizer. This is in the shade Light. I feel it's maybe just a touch warmer than my skin. However, it does color correct and match pretty well. So I haven't noticed any major, like I go out and it looks, you know, really dark on me or anything, and you can see I'm pretty pale. But it does say that it covers 3 shades either way, lighter and darker. I can't really say, like, see this going, you know, another 3 shades lighter than me, or, you know, 3 shades darker, maybe 1 or 2. Just in my opinion. Now, I've never actually seen it on somebody much paler than me or much darker than me to say 100% for sure, but just by the coverage that I get. And I will do not quite a full pump of that, but then I do also like to mix in a tiny little bit of the Pearlizer with it, just because I feel it gives a really pretty glow. And then I will just kind of mix that together on my fingertips and rub it in. Now, normally if I'm doing foundation, I don't use my fingers. Not exactly a major makeup snob, but I do like to apply my makeup usually with a sponge or a brush. However, I found that this product is basically like a lotion, and I really get the best coverage and blendability when I blend it in with my fingers. So I just make sure that goes all the way to my ears, around my mouth, my nose, blend it in really well, and then down my neck. Now, as you can see, that did give pretty decent coverage. So under my eyes, of course, I still have a zit here that is noticeable, but not as noticeable, I feel, as it was before. And of course, on any given day, I would normally throw a little bit more cover up on over that. One of the products that I absolutely love that I feel I can use as a cover up is our Candlelight ShadowSense. I know that sounds really funny, but it is a cream to powder formula. It doesn't crease. Also, if I feel like, you know, the shadows under my eyes are really obvious, I will put some on there as well. So usually what I will do is just put a little dab onto a palette, and I will take just a concealer brush and just get literally the tiniest amount of product. And just dab it on anywhere I feel like I need a little bit of coverage. Of course, using the video camera as my mirror, I don't get the best, you know, it's a little more difficult than if I used an actual mirror. But again, the other place that you could put it is anywhere you have darkness, so like right along here. And like I said, I do love my brushes. However, if I'm trying to get through a quick look, I do find my fingers to be my best tools. So of course I do have some discoloration that I try to hide on a daily basis. So like here, so I'll just dab a little bit on and pat it in. And then here, same thing. This one is a little bit darker, so it does take a little bit more to cover it up. There we go, much better. And while I'm at it, okay, there we go. So I feel a little bit better about that. As you can see, I'm still pretty, like my own natural color kind of comes through, but I do like a little bit more color on my cheeks. One of my favorite products that I'm using right now is the color Cherry BlushSense. It is a, I guess kind of like a gel product. It's in a little squeeze tube like this. You need literally the tiniest amount. And I do feel, I can apply this with my fingers, but I do feel it applies it better with a brush a little bit. And I just kind of dot it on, and you can see it is just the smallest amount, and whoa, look at that color. So I probably overdid it even a little bit today, but it's obvious how bright this color is. So usually I'll just put a little bit on, not quite so much. I like this color because I feel like it gives me a Snow White sort of look. It's a really pretty rosy flesh sort of color. And that's pretty good. As you can see, definitely a lot of colors. So we'll try and go a tiny bit lighter on the other side. There we go, that's better. You can blend this on with your fingertips if you want. You can blend it on with a brush, with a beauty blender, or any type of, you know, dampened sponge, which is the other way that I'll put it on if I'm already using a dampened sponge. There we go, that's a little bit better. So since I did go a little bit overboard on this side, usually what I'll do is just take a teeny tiny bit of my moisturizer and just kind of go over it, just to even it out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that's better. So now that I have my blush and basically, you know, my face makeup on, I just take a little bit of powder, and I really like the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores translucent powder. My pores are a little bit obvious, so that was the reason I decided to try this one, and I actually really love it. Just tap a little bit into the lid. Get some on my brush, tap it off, and then just kind of pat it on. I make sure I get my eyelids and under my eyes. And then down my neck. I really love this powder. I feel like it does a great job mattifying, keeps my makeup in place all day, definitely does a good job kind of hiding my pores a little bit. I'm just applying a little bit extra onto where I kind of overdid it with my blush. So the next product that I like to use, and it's one of my favorites, is the Sandstone Pearl Shimmer. It's a really pretty, just beigey gold sort of color. And again, I will usually go to my palette and just put a little bit on there. And I will actually, this product, I usually just kind of grab a tiny little bit, put it on with my fingertips. And as you can see, it's not a lot of color, it just gives a pretty sheen to the lids, and it evens out the color of my lids. And I'm only using really the tiniest amount. I don't need a ton of product. A very little bit goes a long way. Of course, if you want a deeper color, brighter color, a little bit more shimmer, you can absolutely use more. I also do love this product as a highlight. So you can do, you know, down the center of the nose, you can do the Cupid's bow, you can do across the top of the cheekbones, you know, here, anywhere you would normally highlight. It is a little bit shimmery. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it is a very subtle shimmer, and so it does make a very beautiful highlight. Now the next thing I do with my eye makeup, well, with my eyes, is I actually curl my lashes. I never used to, and I started to do it simply because I feel like it really opens up my eyes a little bit more. Now on any given day, I might wear, you know, eyeliner, I might not. One of my favorites is ShadowSense in Garnet. I love this. Once it's on, it's budge proof. It doesn't go anywhere. And this is a dark brown, sort of burgundy color, I guess. And I will just put a little bit onto my palette. Not real neat, sorry about that. And then I'll just take a brush, and this is actually a Smashbox, Smashbox number 33. It's kind of a little, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be an eye smudger brush, an eyeliner brush. It's one of my favorites. I've been using it forever. And I will just grab a little bit on my palette and get it onto my brush, and then just take it and run it along my lash line. And extend my lash line just a tiny bit. No harm in making your eyes look bigger, right? And get a little bit more. And then do the other eye. You can absolutely do, you know, a winged look with this. You can do a full-on eyeshadow look with this. If it doesn't go down as dark as you want it the first time, you know, definitely go over it a little bit. Pick up a little bit more color. For most days, I just like a real simple look, you know, just a little bit of eyeliner, not too much. Just something to make me look a little more, you know, bright and awake. Okay. So then I will go ahead and take my LashSense with UnderSense. And on the days that I want really super volumized lashes, I will actually put a layer of the LashSense first, then a layer of the UnderSense, and then another layer of the LashSense. I find this gives the best, biggest oomph to my lashes. But today's just a normal day. I'm not really doing anything special. So I'm just going to do the UnderSense. And I had a friend recently ask the best way to apply this, like, do I wiggle, do I roll? And to tell you the truth, kind of do a little bit of a combination of the two. With the UnderSense, I find that I'll do kind of like a roll through motion, but I do wiggle it a little bit at the base of my lashes to get a little more product on there. And then I'll pull through. Now, if you want a more volumized look, the other thing too is you can do a couple of coats of the UnderSense, and the more coats you do, the more you're going to build it up. So I personally will just go ahead, put it on, see what I think, and then once it's to the point where I feel like my eyelashes look thick enough, long enough, whatever I'm going for, then I will go ahead and put on the mascara. I do one eye at a time because I find that it works a little bit better if the UnderSense is not completely dry. That's just my preference. You know, everybody's preference is different. You might find that that doesn't work, you know, as well for you, and you actually like it to dry. If I'm going for a super, super, super volumized look, I may let it dry first, just because I think the primer stays on a little bit better. And this is actually dark brown. This is our brown, and the brown is a very, very, very dark brown. I am not one for brown mascara. I haven't worn brown mascara in years, but this brown is very, very, very dark. So I definitely feel like it's dark enough for me, especially on a daily, you know, a daily look like this, where I'm just doing a very simple stay at home or maybe run out to the store look. And I mean, of course, you know, your preference, if you want to do one eye and then the other, absolutely. You know, there's no one saying you can't do that. I just find, for me, it works better if I do one eye at a time. The really nice thing about our ShadowSense is that Once it's on, it's on. So as you can see, I did have a little bit of mascara on my lids, and while it was wet, I was able to just kind of like wipe it off, and it didn't really disturb, you know, my eyeshadow at all, which is absolutely fabulous. So that is it for my eyes. Now just onto my lips. Now I will usually take that same cotton round and spray a little bit more of the witch hazel on it, because chances are I got lotion, the Tinted Moisturizer, the Pearlizer, etc. on my lips. And I do like to make sure my lips are clean and dry before I put on my LipSense. So, not really sure what color I'm going to do today. I do have a bunch of colors, and I have the brand new color, Sassy Z, but I only have one, so don't want to open it yet, just in case any of you guys want it. But I do have, let's see, a couple colors here. Ooh, what about Beige Champagne? I don't think I've put on Beige Champagne for you guys before. This is it. It is a warm frost. It's a beautiful color. Beautiful, beautiful. Very subtle, I guess. It's not, you know, a super bright color. It's a great everyday look, actually. Finish that is Frost is essentially a metallic finish. Shimmer is a glittery finish, and this is a Frost, so it is a metallic finish. And then I'm just going to use Glossy since I'm not really doing anything special. And that is it. Definitely not a 5-minute look, although normally it does not take me 30 minutes to do this look. I can usually get this done in about 15 minutes. Of course, it does take a little longer explaining everything, but if you have any questions about any of the products that I used, I do have all of these products in stock, or I can order them. Or just, you know, any questions about the look I have, or if there's anything else you guys want to see me do, then, you know, definitely let me know. You know, I have no problem getting requests. You know, if there's a certain eye look you want, if there's a certain color you want to see me try out, just let me know. So thanks for hanging with me this long, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.